Chapter 7. Addie, Sunday, September 30th, 2:05 p.m. I shade my eyes against the sun outside the church, scanning the crowd until I spot Jake. He and other pallbearers are putting Simon's casket onto some kind of metal stretcher, then step aside as the funeral directors angle it towards the hearse. I look down, not wanting to watch Simon's body get loaded into the back of a car like an oversized suitcase, and then somebody tapped me on the shoulder. Addie Prentice, an older woman dressed in a boxy blue suit, gives me a polite professional smile. I'm Detective Laura Wheeler with the Bayview Police. I want to follow up on the discussion you had last week with Officer Budapest about Simon Kelleher's death. Could you come to the station with me for a few minutes? I stare at her and lick my lips. I want to ask why, but she's so calm and assured, like it's the most natural thing in the world to pull me aside after a funeral. And it seems rude to question her. Jake comes up beside me, handsome in his suit, and gives Detective Wheeler a friendly, curious smile. My eyes dart between them and I stammer. Can't we talk here? Detective Wheeler winces. So crowded, don't you think? And we're right around the corner. She gives Jake a half smile. Detective Laura Wheeler, Bayview Police. I'm looking to borrow Addie for a little while and get clarification on a few points related to Simon Kelleher's death. Sure, he says, like that settles things. Texting you need a ride after ads. Lewis and I will stick around downtown. We're starving. And gotta go talk offensive strategy for next Saturday's game. Going to Glenn's probably. So that's it, I guess. I follow Detective Wheeler down the cobblestone path behind the church that leads to the sidewalk, even though I don't want to. Maybe this is what Ashton means when she says I can't think for myself. It's 3 blocks to the police station. We walk in silence past the hardware store, the post office and ice cream parlor. And a little girl out front is having a meltdown about getting chocolate sprinkled instead of rainbow. I keep thinking I should tell Detective Wheeler that my mother will worry if I don't trim straight home, but I'm not sure I could say it without laughing. We pass through the metal detectors in front of the police station, and Detective Wheeler leads me straight into the into a small overheated room. I've never been inside a police station before. I thought it'd be more, official looking. It reminds me of the conference room in Principal Gupta's office with worse lighting. The flickering fluorescent tube above us deepens every line on Detective Wheeler's face and turns her skin an unattractive yellow color. I wonder what it does to mine. She offers me a drink, and when I decline, she leaves the room for a few minutes, returning with a messenger bag slung over one shoulder, a small, dark-haired woman trailing behind her. Both of them sit across from me and squat at the squat metal table, and Detective Wheeler lowers her bag onto the floor. Addie, this is Laura Shalhoub, a family listician for the Bayview School District. She's here as an interested adult on your behalf. Now, this is not a custodial interrogation. You don't have to answer any questions, and you are free to leave any time. Do you understand? Not really. She lost me at interested adult, but I say sure, even though I wish more than ever I'd just gone home or that Jake had come with me. Good. I'll be hanging there with me. My sense is, of all the kids involved, you're the most likely to have gotten in over your head with no ill intent. I blink at her. No ill what? No ill intent. I want to show you something. She reaches into the bag and pulls out her laptop. Miss Shalhoub and I wait as she opens it and presses a few keys. I suck at my cheeks, wondering if she's going to show me the Tumblr post. Maybe the police think one of us wrote them as some kind of awful joke. If they ask me who, I guess I have to say Bronwyn, because the whole thing sounds like it's written by somebody who thinks they're 10 times smarter than anyone else. Detective Wheeler turns the laptop so it's facing me. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it seems like some kind of blog with the About That logo front and center. I give her a questioning look and she says, "This is the admin panel Simon used to manage content for About That. The text below last Monday's date stamps are his latest post." I lean forward and start to read. "First time this app has ever featured Good Girl BR, professor of school's most perfect academic record. Except she didn't get the A in chemistry through plain old hard work. That's not how you define stealing test answers from Mr. C's Google Drive. Someone call Yale." On the opposite end of the spectrum, our favorite criminal, NM's back to doing what he does best, making sure the entire school is as high as it wants to be. Pretty sure that's a probation violation there, and MLB plus CC equals a whole lot of green next June, right? Seems inevitable Bayview Southpaw will make it splash in the major leagues. But don't they have some pretty strict anti-juicing rules? Because CC's performance was most definitely enhanced during showcase season. AP and J are the perfect couple, homecoming princess and star running back, in love for 3 years straight. Except for that intimate detour took over the summer with a TF at his beach house. Even more awkward now that the guys are friends. Think they compare notes? I can't breathe. It's out there for everyone to see. How? Simon's dead. He can't have published this. Someone has taken over from him? The Tumblr poster? But it doesn't even matter. The how, the why, the when, all that matters is that it is. Jake will see if he hasn't already. All the things I read before. I got to my initials that shocked me. I realized who they were talking about. And what they meant followed in my brain. Nothing exists except my stupid, horrible mistake in black and white on the screen for the whole world to read. Jake will know, and he'll never forgive me. I almost folded in half with my head on the table and can't make out Detective Wheeler's words at first. Then some start breaking through. Can't understand how he felt trapped, keeping this from being published. If you tell us what happened, we can help you, Addie. Only one phrase sinks in. Is this not published? It was queued up the day Simon died, but he never got the chance to post it. Detective Wheeler says calmly, Salvation. Jake hasn't seen this. Nobody has, except this police officer and maybe other police officers. What I'm focused on and what she's focused on are two different things. Detective Wheeler leans forward, and her lips are stretched in a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. I may have already recognized the initials, but those other stories about Bronwyn Rojas, Nate Macaulay, and Cooper Clay, the four of you who were in the room with Simon when he died. That's a weird coincidence, I manage. Isn't it? Detective Wheeler agrees. Addie, you already know how Simon died. We've analyzed Mr. Avery's room and can't see any way the peanut oil could have gotten into Simon's cup unless someone put it there after he filled it from the tap. There are only 6 people in that room, one of whom is dead. Your teacher left for a long period, died, and the 4 of you who remained with Simon all had reasons to wanting him to keep quiet. Her voice doesn't get any louder, but it's filling my ears like a buzzing from a hive. Do you see where I'm heading with this? This might have been carried out as a group, but it doesn't mean you share equal responsibility. There's a big difference between coming up with an idea and going along with it. I look at Miss Shallop. She does look interested, I have to say, but it's not like she's on my side. I don't understand what you mean. You lied about being in the nurse's office, Addie. Did someone put you up to that, to removing the EpiPen so Simon couldn't be helped later? My heart pounds as I pull a strand of my hair off my shoulder and twist it around my fingers. I didn't lie. I forgot. God, what she makes me take a lie detector test. I'll never pass. Kids' grades are under a lot of pressure today, Detective Wheeler says, as her tone gets almost friendly. But her eyes are as flat as ever. Social media alone. It's like you can't make a mistake anymore, can you? Follows you everywhere. The court is very forgiving towards impressionable young people who act hastily when they have a lot to lose, especially when they help us uncover the truth. Simon's family deserves the truth, don't you think? I lock my shoulders and tug at my hair. I don't know what to do. Jake would know, but Jake's not here. I look at Miss Shallop tucking short hair behind her ears, and suddenly Ashton's voice pops into my head. You don't have to answer any of my questions. Right. Detective Wheeler said at the beginning, and the words push everything else out of my brain with starting relief and clarity. I'm going to leave now, I say with confidence, but I'm still not 100% sure I can do that. I stand away for her to stop me, but she doesn't. She just narrows her eyes and says, Of course. As I told you, this isn't a custodial interrogation, but please understand that the help I can give you now won't be the same once you leave this room. I don't need your help, I tell her, and walk out of the door, then out of the police station. Nobody stops me. Once I'm outside, though, I don't know what to do or where to go. I sit on a bench and pull out my phone, my hand shaking. I can't call Jake, not for this, but who does that leave? My mind's blank as if Detective Wheeler took an eraser and wiped it clean. I've built my entire world around Jake, and now that it's shattered, I realize, way too late, that I should have cultivated some other people who care. That a police officer with mom hair and a sensible suit accused me of murder. And when I say care, I don't mean, oh my god, did you hear what happened to Addie kind of way. My mother would care, but I can't face it that much scorn and judgment right now. I scroll to the A's in my contact list and press the name. It's my only option. I say a silent prayer of thanks when she picks up. Ash? I somehow managed to not cry at my sister's voice. I need help. Cooper, Sunday, September 30th, 2:30 p.m. When Detective Chain showed me Simon's unpublished about that page, I read everyone's else entry first, but Bronwyn shocks me and Nate doesn't. I have no idea who the hell this TF Addie supposedly hooked up with. I'm almost positive I know what's coming for me. My heart pounds as I spy my initials because CC's performance was most definitely enhanced during the showcase season. Huh. My host slows. I lean back in my chair. It's not what I expected. Although, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I improved too much too quickly. Even the Padre scout said something. Detective Chang dances around the subject for a while, dropping hints until I understand that he thinks the four of us who were in the room planning the whole thing to keep Simon from proposing this update. I try to picture it. Me, Nate, and the two girls plotting murder by peanut oil in Mr. Avery's intention. It's so stupid it wouldn't even make a good movie. I know I'm quiet for too long. Nate and I never even spoke before last week, I finally say. And I sure as heck never talked to the girls about this. Detective Chang leans almost halfway across the table. You're a good kid, Cooper. Your record's spotless till now, and you've got a bright future. You made one mistake and you got caught. That's scary, I get that. It's not too late to do the right thing. I'm not sure which mistake he's referring to, my alleged juicing and my alleged murdering, or something that we haven't talked about yet. As far as I haven't been caught at anything, just accused. Martin and Addie are probably getting the exact same speech somewhere. I guess Nate could get a different one. I didn't cheat, I told Detective Chang. And I didn't hurt Simon. I didn't. I hear my accent coming back. He tries a different tack. Whose idea was it to use a planted cell phone to get all of you in detention together? I lean forward, palm pressed against the black of my good pants. I hardly ever wear them, and they're making me hot and itchy. My heart's banging against my chest again. Listen, I don't know who did that, but isn't it something you should look into? Like, were there fingerprints on the phones? Because it feels to me like maybe we were framed. The other guy in the room, some representative from Bayview School District who hasn't said a word. Oh, it's like I said something profound. But Detective Shane's expression doesn't change. Cooper, we've examined those phones as soon as we started to suspect foul play. There's no forensic evidence to suggest anyone else was involved. Our focus is on the four of you, and that's where I expect to remain. Which finally gets me saying, I want to call my parents. The want part isn't true, but I'm in over my head. Detective Shane heaves a sigh like I disappointed him, but says, all right, you have your cell phone with you? When I nod, he says, you can make the call here. He stays in the room while I call Pop, who catches on a lot faster than I did. Give me that detective you're talking to, he spits. Right now, in Cooperstown? Wait, Cooper, hold up. Don't you say another goddamn word to anyone. I hand Detective Shane my phone and he puts it to his ear. I can't hear everything Pop's saying, but he's loud enough that I get the basic idea. Detective Shane tries to insert a few words along the lines of how it's perfectly legal to question minors in California without their parents present, but mostly he lets Pop rant. At one point he says, no, he's free to go, and my ears pick that up. It had occurred to me that I could leave. Detective Chang gave me my phone back, and Pop's voice crackles in my ear. Cooper, are you there? Get your ass home, and they're not charging you with anything, and you're not going to answer any more questions without me and a lawyer. A lawyer? Do I actually need one of those? I hang up and face Detective Chang. My father told me to leave. You have that right, Detective Chang says, and I wish I'd known that from the beginning. Maybe he told me. I honestly don't remember. But Cooper, these conversations are happening all over the station with your friends. One of them is going to agree to work with us, and that person will be treated very differently from the rest of you. I think it should be you. I'd like to give you that chance. I want to tell him he's got it all wrong, but Pop told me to stop talking. I can't bring myself to leave without saying anything, though, so I end up shaking Detective Shane's hand and saying, thank you for the time, sir. I sound like the ass kisser of the century. It's years of conditioning kicking in.